Iran lied.
Showing off slides and speaking in English, the Israeli prime minister today addressing an audience of one, President Trump.
Here's the warhead. Here's the bomb.
Benjamin Netanyahu presenting intelligence he says shows Iran is lying to cover up a secret nuclear weapons program. Netanyahu aiming his message at his ally in the Oval Office, with Donald Trump under deadline within 2 weeks to decide whether to pull out of the Iran nuclear deal.
I'm not telling you what I'm doing, but a lot of people think they know. And on or before the 12th, we'll make a decision.
The Trump administration and international monitors acknowledge the regime is technically holding up its end of the agreement, but the president's not happy and looks to be leaning toward getting out.
Frankly, he will have some explaining to do because the Iran deal will be far more solid than anything he's going to get out of Kim Jong-un.
The timing critical, with questions about what signal it sends to Kim Jong-un if the president pulls out of one nuclear deal with Iran, even while trying to negotiate another.
Are you worried that sends the wrong message to North Korea?
No, I think it sends the right message.
As for those talks with Kim Jong-un, for President Trump, it seems not a matter of if they'll happen, but where, highlighting the symbolism of the border between North and South Korea.
There's something that I like about it because you're there. You're actually there, where if things work out, there's a great celebration to be had on the site.
Still, experts say it's too soon to celebrate, even with the president's supporters already chanting about a potential peace prize. Supporters chanting Nobel there, and plenty on the president's foreign policy plate today at his first meeting with a sub-Saharan African leader since reportedly referring to some countries on the continent with a vulgarity. President Trump, in his talks with the Nigerian leader, said simply, it didn't come up.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.